Breaking news, the Middle East is erupting. Iran has just launched a massive coordinated missile and drone attack on Israel, marking one of the most aggressive strikes in recent history. In this video, we'll break down exactly what happened, where it happened, and what this means for the region and the world. It started just after midnight, when radar systems in Israel lit up with dozens, then hundreds of incoming threats. Iran launched over 170 ballistic and cruise missiles, along with 100 drones. Some were fired from Iranian territory, while others came from Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. This wasn't just retaliation, this was a military message. Israel's early warning system blared across major cities. In Tel Aviv, air raid sirens cut through the night. Thousands rushed into bomb shelters. In the north, explosions echoed over Haifa and Galilee. Israel's famous Iron Dome system sprang into action. The Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, claim over 90% of threats were intercepted. But even with such high success rates, some missiles got through. Several districts in southern and central Israel suffered direct hits. Fires erupted. Residential buildings and infrastructure were damaged. The Israeli Home Front Command declared an emergency in multiple zones as first responders rushed to assist the wounded. At least 3 civilians have been confirmed dead. Dozens more are injured, some critically. To understand why Iran launched this massive strike, we have to rewind just a few days. On June 10th, Israeli forces carried out a precision airstrike in Damascus, Syria, targeting high-ranking members of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. Among those killed was a key Iranian commander involved in logistics and weapons. Transfers to Hezbollah in Lebanon. This wasn't the first such strike, but it was the most high-profile in months. Iran vowed a historic response. Iranian state TV broadcast warnings, and then just days later, they followed through with what they're calling Operation True Promise to 30. Military analysts now say the missiles and drones came from multiple fronts. Iran, primary launch site for ballistic missiles, Syria and Iraq used as staging grounds by Iranian-backed militias. Yemen, Houthi rebels reportedly launched several drones aimed at Israel's southern port cities. This kind of multi-front assault shows Iran's growing influence across the region, using proxy forces as part of a larger strategy. Within hours of the attack, Israel struck back. Fighter jets targeted launch sites in Syria and Iraq. Explosions were reported near Damascus International Airport, and in Anbar province, Iraq, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held an emergency security briefing stating, "We will respond forcefully to any threat to our people. This aggression will not go unanswered." Meanwhile, the IDF placed 3 brigades on high alert and moved additional missile batteries to the northern and southern borders. The United States condemned the Iranian strike and reaffirmed its support for Israel. President Biden called it a reckless act of aggression and urged Iran to stand down. U.S. forces in the region were placed on heightened alert, and the Pentagon confirmed the movement of naval assets closer to the eastern Mediterranean. The United Nations has called for immediate de-escalation. Russia, China, and European nations are pushing for restraint, but with tensions this high, diplomacy may not be enough. Behind the politics and military moves are real people, families torn from their sleep, children crying in shelters, hospitals overflowing. In Iran, citizens rallied in support of the missile launch. In Israel, fear and uncertainty filled the air as people asked one question: will this turn into full-scale war? Aid groups are mobilizing. The Red Crescent and Magen David Adom have activated emergency relief networks. But the danger is far from over. Many fear this could spiral. Hezbollah has over 100,000 rockets aimed at Israel from Lebanon. Iranian-backed militias in Iraq are now fully mobilized, and Israel has warned it may strike deeper into Iran if the attacks continue. We are no longer talking about proxy wars. This is 2 powerful nations trading direct blows. The next 24-48 hours will be critical. If either side miscalculates, this could escalate beyond anything we've seen in decades. We'll keep you updated as this crisis unfolds. Be sure to like this video, subscribe for real-time updates, and comment below. What do you think? Is this the beginning of a broader Middle East war, or will diplomacy step in before it's too late? This has been your full breakdown of Iran's missile barrage on Israel. Stay safe, stay informed. While the Iran-Israel clashes dominate headlines, other hotspots are now becoming flashpoints. In Lebanon, Hezbollah has positioned rocket units near the border. In Iraq, Iranian-backed militias are reportedly mobilizing against U.S. bases. This isn't just about 2 nations, it's a chain reaction involving multiple actors each with their own agenda. An escalation in one region could instantly trigger war in another. Beyond the battlefield, global effects are unfolding fast. Oil markets surged as traders feared disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. Global shipping faces delays, raising consumer prices worldwide. Stock markets in Asia and Europe opened lower as investors moved towards safe haven assets like gold and the US dollar. Even travel insurers are now warning about higher premiums for flights and cargo through the Middle East. With both sides openly trading fire, the nuclear concern is rising. Iran is inching closer to nuclear weapon capabilities, and Israel has hinted it will act if it feels its existential security is at risk. There's a possibility of a covert nuclear escalation, a cyber attack on a reactor, or a sudden explosion. At an undeclared site, analysts warn a single misstep could blow this conflict into a nuclear crisis. On the diplomatic front, global powers are already in motion. The US is quietly urging both parties to de-escalate. Russia and China are calling for peace, but also using the moment to strengthen ties with Iran. Saudi Arabia and the UAE, once neutral, are now calling for calm, but could be tempted to tip the balance depending on how the attacks evolve. The UN Security Council is scheduled to meet tomorrow. Will they push for a ceasefire, or will the vote expose deeper geopolitical divisions? Where does this go from here? Could we be staring down a full-scale regional war, or even a global crisis? In the next video, we'll analyze likely scenarios, from limited ceasefires to protracted proxy battles, and how you can stay informed. Smash that like button if you're following this crisis. Tag a friend who needs to know what's coming next. Subscribe now, because in the next 24 hours, this story could change everything. This extension keeps the tension high, dives into analysis, and promises more perfect for retention and engagement. Let me know if you want a full rundown of the next video or need a clip breakdown for visuals.